speaking of which. And I heard two kids talking. And the conversation was, who do you think the toughest rapper is? And the one kid said this, 50 Cent, get my props. He talked mad Glenn. And is still walking after getting shot 9 times. You have to be pretty tough to live through that, he said. And then start lifting weights like mad. Then go on prime time and say that guy that did it was killed. He did that. And he also talks a lot of smack about everyone. Everyone. And the other guy goes, I don't know, man. You ever heard of Ice-T? Ice-T was an original G. An OG. A gangster. He had to kill somebody. He's got to be extremely tough. Right? The guy goes, I don't know. I don't know. Here's the other thing about 50 Cent. Ja Rule, you know Ja Rule? He supposedly kicked his ass in a fight. This is a conversation I heard in the thing. I'm thinking to myself, what is the definition of toughness? A guy that can shoot somebody or get shot? Is that tough? Somebody who is a gangster? Is that tough? Does that take real true toughness? What's your definition of toughness? Is it this? So I went on the internet. And I went to look up toughness. Okay? And here's what I found. Fear of spiders is arachnophobia. Fear of tight places is claustrophobia. Fear of Chuck Norris is logic. Chuck Norris doesn't call the wrong number. You answered the wrong phone. Okay? Chuck Norris has a grizzly bear carpet in his room. The bear isn't dead. It just is afraid to move. Chuck Norris has already been to Mars. That's why there are no signs of life. Chuck Norris and Superman once fought each other on a bet. The loser had to start wearing his underwear outside of his pants. Chuck Norris is the reason why Waldo is still hiding. This is a good one. Death once had a near Chuck Norris experience. When the boogeyman goes to sleep every night, he checks his closet for Chuck Norris. Okay? Chuck Norris will never have a heart attack. His heart isn't nearly foolish enough to attack him. All right? This is great. And it's probably true. Because Chuck Norris is the toughest man in the world, right? How we define toughness. Chuck Norris once kicked a horse in the chin. Its descendants are now known as giraffes. Chuck Norris got bit by a rattlesnake. After 3 days of pain and agony, the rattlesnake died. When Chuck Norris does a push-up, he isn't lifting himself up. He's pushing the earth down. Okay? You know what ghosts sit around and talk about at campfire? Tell stories about? Chuck Norris. Okay?
Wow.
Have you ever heard about this? Chuck Norris made a Happy Meal cry. You know what was inside that Happy Meal? French fries. Chuck Norris does not sleep. He waits. Chuck Norris's shadow stays 10 steps behind him in fear of a roundhouse kick. And here's the last one. Chuck Norris doesn't need a GPS. Chuck Norris decides where he's at. Okay? That's the definition of toughness, right? Is that really the definition of toughness? No, I don't agree. Okay? Toughness is not if you can be a gangster or a pimp or a guy that has a great roundhouse. That is not the definition of toughness. Toughness is grace If you don't know what that is, you might want to look it up when you get home from Google. Toughness is composure, especially when things are heated, when things get rough, when you're tired, when you're cranky, when things are going bad, having composure, when everything around you is falling apart and you hold it together. Toughness is quiet and enduring. Toughness is not loud and boisterous and bragging. It's not selfish, nor is it self-centered. Toughness is not the guy that runs out of the tunnel at the NFL game and waves his hands and says, "Look at me. Look at how great I am." That's not toughness. It's not macho, or it's not some kind of front that people put up. Toughness is, though, consistent. It's persevering. It's persevering. It's getting knocked down, it's getting pinned, and it's getting back up. Toughness is the girl that turns out for wrestling her junior year in high school and comes into this room with a bunch of boys. I can't even imagine how uncomfortable that can be, and has a smile on her face and works her tail off. That's toughness. Toughness is Martin Luther King. Toughness is Gandhi. Toughness is Nelson Mandela. Toughness is a nonviolent approach to protest. Is having your best weapon. Be pacifist. To be a pacifist is your best weapon. And making it work. That's toughness. Spending 18 years in prison for what you believe is toughness. Single mom raising a bunch of kids with 2 jobs. That's toughness. Okay? Toughness is not how many pins you get in a high school wrestling season. It's how many times you can get up when you get knocked down. It's how you can fight through practice when you're getting your tail whooped. It's going home and doing the hard work, the classroom work. Doing the right things, being accountable to each other. That's toughness. That's what we practice every day. Those are the kind of things we practice every day. Toughness. You think about that. Rosa Parks. You know who that is, right? She's tough. She was tough. She was tough. She said, "No, I'm not going to take this anymore." Toughness is standing up for what's right. For what's right. Standing up. And saying, "Hey, I'm going to do this because it's right." Toughness is standing up for somebody else when they can't stand up for themselves. Right? That's toughness. That's what we're going to focus on in here. We're going to focus on doing the right things. In here, out of here. We're going to focus on working hard. We're going to focus on picking ourselves up, having a great attitude, putting our chin up. Okay? Taking it to our opponents, but being good sports. Not being this guy. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Being the guy that says, "Hey, look at us. Look at these people that I'm surrounded by. Look at these great people." That's what it's all about. All right? Okay. Toughness, my friends, is going out and selling a ton of cookie dough.
At night, not being afraid of the dark.
Okay,